Hey there. Um, I felt this video deserves an intro, as this is a tough one to do because I did this in honor of my dad who just passed recently. I got a call while I was up north with some friends that my dad was in a lot of pain and my mom needed help with things around the house and with him. And I knew that was serious because she said that some scans came back with cancer on him. So it's tough news to take. And I immediately hopped on a train and came down here. And I spent 7 months caretaking for my dad and helping my mom out around the house. And it has been such a whirlwind. Definitely grateful for the time I had with him. But it was also the most difficult thing I've ever done. And also the most pain for him that I can think of anyone enduring in their last days. He had cancer on his kidney that metastasized to his spine. So this tumor was crumbling his spine away, and the way that it was spreading gelatinously throughout his body, it couldn't be saved. So he came home and spent his last days with family and friends in the comfort of his home. And the whole dealing with where the medical field is right now is really difficult. It's overwhelmed, lots of red tape. It's changing. So a little public service announcement to take care of your elderly, take care of your sick. We have to advocate for ourselves because the system is it's not doing what it could. And so my mom and I were left to our own devices a lot of the time. It was like we didn't really get a solid nurse until halfway through his time here. So, and the hospital was expecting him to maybe make 4 months, but he made it to 7. So it's concerning that we had such a difficult time finding the help that we needed um, that late in the game, you know? So I'm definitely an advocate for getting your stuff together for an end of life care and plan because it's not talked about enough. And if people were more educated, there would be less fear around it. So that's my 2 cents right now. I'll probably narrate a few spots throughout the film so you know what's going on here. And other than that, I love and miss you, Dad. This is the hospice bed that he spent his last days in. But first, we're gonna enjoy a sense of freedom. And he wouldn't let anyone push him. He had to do it himself. We got to enjoy a solid sunset that day. He got a haircut and looking sharp. We got to enjoy a nice Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, baby, look at that.
And the neighbors built him a ramp and lent him an electric chair. Oh yeah, recreation on the water. Christmas time. Deck the halls with bells of holly. Fa la 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 la
la. Look, I'm missing that too. See that there?
Yeah, I know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arrive. Cheers.
This is my dad picking up a poker stick with his grabber.
Mental.
Cool.
Fundamental.
Mental. Mental.
Visit legacybox.com.
Hi, I'm Karen. I lost 41 pounds ago, and
But it's not all fun and games. Caretaking is a lot of work. This is me putting compression socks on my dad for swelling. And managing the pills is a nightmare. Isn't the nurse supposed to do this? Doing laundry was my zen during these difficult times. Dad got us flowers for Valentine's Day. Yay for birthday gifts. I treated myself to a Banksy exhibit and got Mom flowers for her birthday. Then we enjoyed this beautiful sunset. Next thing you know, it was March. And the leprechaun left us some goodies. I love it when people dropped us off flowers. It really brightened the dark days. I had a custom portrait shipped all the way from the Ukraine. I actually opened it with the family, and they loved it. She did so well capturing his essence. It's like I can hear his laugh through the painting. Then 420 came around, so Dad and I had brownies and watched the editor's cut of Woodstock. Some Mother's Day flowers for my mama. My brother came to visit, and we had a nice dinner with a beautiful view overlooking the water. By this time, my dad was not mobile anymore, and he was laying all day in excruciating pain, and it just got to the point where his body was done, and the nurse was ready to administer the liquid morphine, which, if you have any experience with hospice at all, you know that that's the end. So I gave my brother a call with the news, so he turned right around to be here for this, which I'm really glad he was able to. And interesting enough, it was like a day or two before my dad passed that a friend of mine contacted me and said she had a dream with a message for me. She said that she could feel my energy, and in this dream, a black crow landed on her hand and stuck some feathers in her palm. And when she opened her hand, there was a clock, a little watch, with a message saying, "The time is now." And she said that message was for me. And this is a friend that lives far away, and so we weren't keeping tabs on a regular basis. But I knew exactly what that meant, and it was just gets me goosebumps. It was definitely a message from the other side. I truly believe that. The universe cried for us. And it was cleansing. And there is sunshine after rain. I gave myself a healing foot soak that morning and went to the beach, where I was greeted by 2 crows. The day was filled with friends and family coming and going, in person and on the phone, to say their final goodbyes to my dad. One of our last interactions was he got to tell me that I've done fine by him, and I got to tell him that he's done fine by me. I got to gather around my dad with my family and tell him to not be afraid. And that was really powerful. It's hard to express without getting choked up. And then as a family, he got to tell us that he has the best. And he got to tell us that he loves us. And then by the end of the day, as things calmed down and people left and it got quiet, and I could see that he was ready, and I was so exhausted, but something in me told me that we needed to move some energy. And one of our neighbors who knew my dad does energy work. And when I mentioned that I would give her a call to do some drumming for him, he gave me a signal with his eyebrows. So I knew he was going to like it. So I called her up, and she came over with her drum. And my brother, my mom, and I sat to the side and watched. And then right at the time of sunset, she said He's leaving you with one last message, and that is meet me at sunset. Because if you knew my dad, he sat at the dock every night to watch the sunset. And everybody here will tell you, most people here will tell you that he was one of the first people that they met before moving here. So he was definitely a fixture in this community. And I'm so glad that he had a peaceful passing. And he took his last breath right at sunset. So then I walked down to the dock just after sunset, where there was people gathered with Yingling, and we gave a toast to my dad. So that was pretty special. Dad, this one's for you. Removing his body from the home was a little traumatic because it was very do-it-yourself. There was only one man who showed up, the driver. So he helped us carry my father, but we had to handle the body, which is just something that I was told shouldn't have happened. But things are different now, so. But it was still a nice send-off. We put a rose on his chest and got to put him in his favorite t-shirt. His friend Mark took us out on his boat shortly after. That was fun. Thank you, Mark. He likes us. Hey, time to go through old photographs. Here's some of my favorites.
This is why I did all the shit that I did.
Yep.